invited to the pub to see a secret tunnel. Now, if you know me personally, you'll know I don't drink a lot, and I'm not even very social. So I am assuming this really is for something underneath the pub. Bring a torch and a crowbar. That sounds ominous. Two odd things about this. Number one, this pub is in my own town. Number two, it's only 200 yards away from my little studio. Okay, so while that Paul goes off to the pub to go and look at the secret tunnel, this Paul has printed a map because there's something I need to show you first before all of this for a bit of context and very good reason. Okay, so I printed this map of the town. It's from around 1890 to 1900. Now, I've done this because I've heard so many rumours of tunnels in this town over the years, since a kid upwards, but are any of them actually true? Let's start plotting a few things on here. Okay, so this is the pub here, the Lardy Cake. I know, right? And this is the location of the street that my studio is on. Wait, this very street that my studio is in now, this street had rumours of a tunnel under the town, and I've got a basement. Okay, well, it's just a basement with a toilet and there's absolutely nothing to see here, a couple of old beams. Okay, back to this street very soon, and back to the pub very shortly as well. You see, every town, every city in this country at one point has had rumours of lost secret tunnels hidden under the streets. Stone in Staffordshire and the secret passageways, Tintern medieval secret tunnels, Guildford's subterranean world, Burton's Templar tunnels, Flowmere in Cambridgeshire. This one even appeared in a estate agent's listing. The appeal of tunnels really is something else, an evocative image of a secret escape tunnel or smugglers doing their thing. And now, maybe I can add Andover, the centre of the known universe, to that list. Okay, the map here really is key. We have the Lardy Cake pub here, and we have my street right here. Now, before I embark on the pub trip, I want to mark every rumour on this town, a plot on the map. Let's note the rumours and then apply some logic. Okay, so I'm going to use two maps, the rumour map and the actual evidenced map of tunnels under this town. Two maps. Okay, so the research was probably a bit easier than I first anticipated. Loads of articles. Rumours of tunnels under Andover. The local newspaper was full of them. And then everyone was filling in even more gaps than I could possibly imagine. Next up, a car park to my southwest, maybe 200 yards or so. The George Yard car park apparently used to have this building in it, and there was a great article from David Borrett, local historian, and guess what? Rumours used to be there was a tunnel underneath it leading to who knows where. The rumour is now on the map. So as I was researching this story, a local councillor got in touch, Chris Donnelly, you may remember him from a previous video, and he said that he had first-hand experience of seeing a tunnel under the town. So I asked him to pop in, and he brought with him local legend Iris Andersen too.
Shades, the hairdresser, moved in there,
yeah.
And there is, Chris went down it, I didn't, I stood at the top.
So in shades?
Yeah, in shade.
So at the time it was going to be repurposed, and they were in there, they'd completely stripped it out, bare, right back to the bones. And we went through, because Iris knew one of the guys who was doing it, and he said, well, come through into the back, I'll show you this hatch in this tunnel. So he opened up this big wooden hatch on the floor and lifted it up, and there was a little, I think they'd got a ladder, and he said, look what I found when we were doing this. And it was just like an earth base, and I went, you didn't, but I went down. I didn't. No, it didn't go very far because I didn't have a torch and it was pitch black. But you could see it going all the way down, due west.
Julie, that works at the Heart Foundation, right, one of the managers. In there is a cellar as well that goes right down. You can go down through there, and I believe. But
it goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
So they should meet. So like they're meeting up. So I thought we were done there, quite interesting of course, but then Iris said this.
Well, I know George that runs the Shades, the hairdresser.
Okay.
So if you want me to have a little chat to her and say...
she did indeed get that invite. More on that very shortly. Okay, so this is good. We're starting to build a picture of some of these rumours now. Now I found another article which related to 2 different tunnels, also however under the high street. So maybe, just maybe, we can start to piece some of these together now. This one is Full Tilt Secret Tunnel, illegal cargo starting at the now Star and Garter, heading all the way up the high street onto the upper high street via a secret tunnel where ill-gotten gains could be unloaded and distributed. This article cites the person went into a basement of Barker, Son and Isherwood solicitors and saw 2 sealed up doors opposing each other. Okay, so next up, the very street I'm on now. This was said to have a connecting tunnel all the way through it, probably up to the church. This is a really gorgeous old picture of said street. Okay, so here's a shot from the southern end of the street. You can see these 2 houses here are now gone. You see the lamppost, well, the lamppost position is still there. Now when they demolished these 2 houses, well, they found some tunnels under the street, under those houses, not roofed, just sat with floorboards. Now here are the pictures of said tunnel. I will at this stage let you decide if you think they are secret unroofed tunnels, in that all that would have been above them are just floorboards. Now we have a load more rumours from all kinds of different sources, a lot of people talking about what they heard around the town. Now I'm not going to go into any more detail on those because there is no great detail. So with that in mind and that done, let's head to the pub. Now I'm going to narrate a little bit of this and maybe fill in some blanks here, because when we're at the pub the music was quite loud and I don't want to get a copyright strike or whatever. So first up, a huge shout out to the Lardy Cake pub and the landlady Faye. Hugely friendly place, dog friendly and really welcoming. Link below. Now Faye, the landlady, hasn't been there a long time, but she did suggest that the previous occupiers has said there was a tunnel down there in the cellar behind a hatch. So she took us down into the cellar, some really steep steps, and out the back of the main large room where there was a passageway. Now this led us into a large room. I say large, perhaps sort of a living room size. Now this had been split into 3 more recently by these breeze block walls, which they had left slots in between. Now it seems to have a set of stairs at the back which would lead to the pub, surely, by going back up to the roof. Now we scouted around and found nothing, no hatch, no door, no break in the brickwork, so we assumed that was just it. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. So I asked Faye about the breeze block and why the room had been split into 3. No idea. She said, I'm new here, but why not speak to Bob, the local up in the bar? Now this is Bob, lovely chap. Bob suggested that he had seen a tunnel with his own eyes.
Staircase.
Yeah.
You should be able to go there to the right. That's where the tunnel was.
Looking at the stairs, you look to the right, how far could you see?
Yeah, but what did one of them actually become?
Well, it's black.
Okay, so where exactly did we go wrong? So here's a quick diagram of the cellar and the room downstairs. Now, Bob suggested that the key here was the stairs. Halfway up those stairs and turn right. Now, the stairs went round to the left. That was a secret tunnel right there. Did we somehow miss this? So we said we'd have a very quick pint and then asked to go back down once again. Now, whilst we were having that pint, a chap from the pub outside, Philip, asked what we're up to and gave us pretty much exactly the same account as Bob with regard to the details of the tunnel itself. So I said, I want absolute evidence. Did you go down that tunnel? And he said, yes, I did. I went 150 yards down the tunnel. It faced towards the church, but was destroyed by the roundabout that is there now. I think it was built in the 1960s. Now, he gave us a load of other rumours around the town that he'd heard about, but this to me was key, his first-hand experience. Pint complete, off we go again into the dark, down the passageway, through the 2 openings in the new breeze block walls, and a fresh look at those stairs. Now, both accounts, Philip and Bob, suggested that the tunnel went at a 45-degree angle to the stairs as you look at them. Now, as you'll see, absolutely nothing on the face of it, but there was a gap under the floorboards towards the top of the stairs and over the brickwork in that direction. Well, could we see over that brickwork? Maybe this would reveal the secret tunnel. Turns out we could. Now, it was really tight, very damp and extremely dusty, but we got a few shots of what was perhaps another 2 rooms. But sadly, they'd now been filled up to around 5 feet tall. We tried, but we just couldn't find any evidence with our own eyes of the stories from Bob and Philip. Certainly to say it's not true, that was their own words and their own experience, which is great in itself. I'd have just loved to have been able to see it with my own eyes and maybe even put it on camera myself. I couldn't. But now, of course, the big question, what are the tunnels on the high street? A huge debt of gratitude to Iris. She managed to get us an invite into Abacus Employment Agency at the top of the high street on the corner. And of course a big thanks to Abacus themselves too for letting us have a poke around. Their basement was huge, so straight away we tried to do a 360 sweep. Now this cellar was interesting, loads of segregated rooms and lots of alcoves that just stopped. Nothing immediately that gave us hope of any lost secret tunnels. Maybe apart from this one. We maybe thought this looked like a blocked up passageway. Not sure. Really difficult to make any sense of it. What do you think? Okay, so nothing concrete in here once again. So what exactly is going on here? So first of all, do secret tunnels underground actually exist? And I'm not talking about joining cellars, I'm not talking about bunkers or caves or ventilation systems. I'm talking about secret tunnels for sneaky illicit purposes. At the start you may remember I gave you a whole bunch of examples and I was a bit sneaky myself there because I did that for a specific reason. Every single one of those tunnels I mentioned at the start, from Guildford to Burton and all in between, have been thoroughly debunked by Dr. James Wright. You can check out his blog, I'll link it below. None of them, absolutely none of them, stack up in the sense that we want them to. Do secret tunnels at town level for illicit purposes really exist at all? So Dr. James Wright, bit of a legend there. Buildings archaeologist has spent a lot of time debunking a lot of these claims of secret tunnel here, secret tunnel there. Suffice to say, his parting words to me were as follows. Every single settlement has tunnel rumours, but not a single story has turned out to be true when looked at by archaeologists. Essentially, secret escape tunnels or hidden access passageways are not a thing. Okay, so what about this studio that I'm in right now and the secret tunnel that apparently went all the way up this street, East Street? Well, apparently that was quite easy to debunk too. The pictures that we showed you early on, well, they were from the bottom of the street and they only went one house further north. They didn't go any further. So it's a kind of a like one of when you have a set of terrace houses and their loft adjoins. They didn't even have a roof to that tunnel. It would have just been floorboards above you. So can you even call it a tunnel? Sadly not. I had in my head, this is all a big controversy theory, unquestionably, and I just need to highlight the lack of real evidence here in my own town. It really wouldn't be that difficult, surely. But then I started researching this project myself in my own town, and I started talking to the locals in the pub, the councillors, and all of a sudden there's people with actual first-hand experience, and their stories from seeing these tunnels, well, they're hugely compelling.
Who's an Andover lad says, well, yeah, it's all over. And they collapsed because they built that roundabout and the underpass.
So I sit here right now and I feel like I've got this decision to make. Forget all the rumours, forget that my granddad said this, my dad said that. Do I take the evidence from the people at the pub as first-hand evidence? Can we say they exist because of that? Or do we have to say, well, we need to do more? We need to capture these images with our own cameras and our own phones in some form of photographic evidence? I guess perhaps I'll leave that decision with you in the comments below. And with that in mind, have you got tunnels under your town? Or perhaps if you check out Dr. James Wright's website, maybe, just maybe, those secret tunnels have already been debunked. I've been Paul. I will see you this time next week for maybe more of the same.